Hi there, it's Tracy from the Papercraft Studio. Thank you for joining me today. So I'm going to show you how I made this gift bag. So it's quite a strong gift bag. It's made of cardstock, and I designed it with current times in mind to pop one of these little hand sanitizers in. It's a perfect fit. Different size ones also go in here, obviously all of the smaller ones. But also you could put some money in here, you could put some jewellery or some chocolates, so it's quite a versatile bag. And I thought also it was quite unisex as well with the designer series paper I've used. So I'm just going to show you that the papers, because I think for some it might look a bit bold in the catalogue, but actually the B-sides are just gorgeous as well. So this is called Trimming the Town. It's in the current designer series paper sale, which is running throughout October. So if you do fancy buying this or any other the designer series paper, or indeed any other products from the catalogue, have a little look in the link below, and you'll see my details of how you can shop online with me. But I just wanted to show you the B-sides. So I mean, this one actually makes a great frame in itself. And then on the back you've got this gorgeous little swirly red. Then you've got the people holding hands. It's not very reflective at the moment. And on the back of that one, this is gorgeous, just the diagonal stripe. Spots, red spots. These make great gift bags of things. And on the back of the spots are these gorgeous trees. Little reeds. On the back of the reeds we've got these. This kind of wordy thing, so you can cut this paper, and actually I'm going to be doing this in my Christmas special, Christmas card special. And you've got little things like be merry and have a merry little Christmas, tidies and coupled enjoy. So you can get loads of different things. And actually, if you've got friends in other European countries, there's also German and French on here as well, possibly Dutch, I'm not sure, but yeah, so that's great. And then you've got the bigger houses. These can be cut out and the trees just stuck on a card. Look amazing. And this gorgeous misty moonlight stripe. The one I've chosen to use today, and I haven't got a lot of it left, because like I say, we used it in the cards by post for this month. I do class by post, do 2 cards and a 3D project. So on one side you have the little houses, but on this flip side you've got this gorgeous little snowflakes in also a misty moonlight. So really loved that one, and that's what we're using today. So I'm going to show you here the supplies you need. So you need a piece of Night of Navy cardstock, and this one measures 7 inches by 7.5 inches. You will need a piece of designer series paper, and this measures 6 inches by 1 3/4. You need a very small piece of silver foil cardstock, obviously, and that one measures 1 1/4 by 3/4. And then for the sentiment you'll need this little also the same size as a silver foil little piece of whisper white, so 1 1/4 by 3/4. And don't worry if you're not catching the measurements, because I will put a link to my blog below and you can find them all on there. The stamps that I use, you can buy this as a bundle, little treats bundle, and it's this these die cuts here, and they make up these cute little bags. So those in themselves are great for little table favors at Christmas, but I just love these stamps on here as well. Perfect. I love the little Santa hat as well, so that's I've used especially for you. I like that one, and obviously you can use that all year round. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I've scored the cardstock. Bring in my scoreboard, and what you want to do is have the 7-inch side along the top. Obviously they look quite similar because this is 7.5 inches, but the smaller side, 7 inches at the top, you want to score that at 2 inches, at 3 1/4 inches, 5 1/4 inches, and 6.5 inches. And then you're going to turn that, and you're going to score it at 1 1/4 inch here. Now you can, when you make this box, I've got one here, when you get it and you've made it to this point, you can just hold it with your thumb and middle finger, put your index finger there and just squeeze the top together, and whatever you've put in there you can just pinch down the sides. So I'll just show you here. If you're putting that hand sanitizer in, obviously it goes quite a way up, so it won't go, you won't be able to squeeze all the way down. So You might not want to score the sides, you might just want to leave it and just pinch as I did there to see how far down. If you did want to have a more kind of definite crease down the side, you can just score here at 2 5/8 down to about 4 inches, and here also at 5 7/8 down to about 4 inches. I'm just eyeballing that. If you got this in a kit form, I don't think I put the score lines in. I think I left it so that you could pinch it to, depending on what you're putting in there, okay? But if you do want to have those more definite lines and you do have a scoreboard at home, that's where you need to put them in. So we're going to do some folding now. Fold on all the score lines except for those 2 smaller side kind of indents that I've popped in. And because it's cardstock, I'm just going to go over it with a bone folder. Last one there, and then along the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to flip it over to this side because I can see it easier. So I've got the very small score line on this side. So I'm going to take out this bottom. So it's just suddenly got a bit sunny there, so I don't know if you can see in the light, but this bottom small rectangle, I'm just going to cut it and then you'll see. It's a really strange day. It was pretty cloudy and rainy most of the day, and now it's sunny. Oops, didn't quite cut that across properly. Let's get rid of that bit there. So you're just cutting out that small rectangle, then you've got a square rectangle, well, these are almost squares. So then you're going to cut straight up these other score lines on the base. And then on these 2, which look more like squares, so let me just fold away these other 2. The ones that look more like squares, you're just going to cut, I call them flower pots. What do most people call them? I'm not sure really, but you're just going to cut a slither, a little triangle. I don't know if you can see there. So I'm coming in slightly at the bottom, cutting up to that corner piece. So that's a small piece there that's just been cut out. So you just taking away that edge, so that's why I call it a flower pot, because it kind of looks more of a flower pot shape at the end of that. Do the same on the other more square shape. They're not quite squares, but you'll know which ones I mean. Okay, get rid of those edge bits. So there you go. So these 2 you've left with straight edges. Got rid of the end one. These 2 are flower pots. And then on this small strip down the side, you just want to again take a little small triangle, little edge off, and this just helps it close a bit neater. So this is what you'll end up with. Now on this small edge here, fold that one over. We're just going to put some adhesive along this edge, so you could use glue. Obviously you need to hold it for a bit longer if you do, or tape. I'm using our Stampin' Seal Plus. So this is just going to run along here. And then what I tend to do is fold, you can see that's the sticky edge. So I'm folding that one and the next section over. And then this one on the end just folds over, and it's really easy to line up those edges then. You've got a really good finish. So just stick that one down and then flip these 2. Gosh, the light's really not good at the moment. Let me just see if I can move my light there. Flip these 2 up. This is going to be the equivalent. What you want to do is put glue on the inside of these 2 edges. So as it's laid flat, just flip these 2 up, and you're just going to put glue, some sort of adhesive along these 2 here. And sometimes I just do it along one, but sorry, just might wind that on. But because I've designed this to hold something quite heavy, you need a bit of strength at the bottom. So come back up here, you're going to fold in the 2 smaller pieces first. And then I tend to find where the join is on the box, I want this to be at the back. So I want this piece to fold over last because that's heading towards the back. It's not essential, but so 2 smaller pieces, one of the flatter or straight edged ones, and then this one's finally going to fold over. So this slight join is facing towards the back, but like I say, not essential. And then just have a check if you need to trim anything off at the bottom here, just to even it up. If it didn't quite line up for you, that's the time to get rid of that now. Okay, if you do have the score lines here, when you go to push it in, it will be quite easy. If you don't, like I said, I just push this one together with my fingers at the top, try and get that to be even, and then just run your finger down the side to create that that fold, depending on what you're putting in there. Okay, so we need to pop our designer series paper on. So just check again which one's your front. This one's mine. I'm just going to put some glue on this time because it's easier to move around to get it in the place where we want it. And as you, ooh, just put my finger straight in the glue there. As usual, you want to leave a little border. That's not the right size piece of designer series paper. That was the offcut. Right, let's go for the right size one because the border wasn't that piece. Wasn't that size. That was my offcut piece. So the sizes I gave you earlier were correct. I just picked up the offcut instead of the actual piece I wanted. So let's try again. Glue on the back. This one looks better. Okay. I was thinking the border looked really big on that other one. So you've got a 1/8 of an inch border all the way around there. We'll smooth that down. Now the ribbon I use, this is actually in the Halloween section of the autumn winter catalogue, but I just love it, and you can match it up with kind of wintry Christmassy projects. So it's called metallic mesh ribbon. So I think it's a really beautiful one to for packaging especially, and you'll need about 11 inches. That's what I've already cut this one. And what you're going to do is just lay this down, and then you just need to tie a knot on the front. You can peg that down if you want to, just to have it in place. So I'm literally just tying a knot like that, and then I'm going to hold that in place and tie another knot. So you're, you know, in effect tying a double knot. You can get someone to put their finger on it if you find it easier. Okay. But how pretty is that? It's so gorgeous. So you can leave those quite long, or you can trim them off. I'm probably going to trim mine down a little bit actually. I left it at 11 inches for, you know, for tying, because obviously it's a bit tricky to tie if it's a lot smaller. So there we go, really pretty. And then I've also used, I've gone on my desk, these are pretty, glitter star ornaments. Okay, so you get 12 in a set, and they come on a little string like that, but they're really quite a decent size on here, so you can use them for lots of different projects. Now I fiddled around with this, and I didn't want this hanging down too far, so when I originally did it, I just hooked it on to, before I tied the knot, I hooked it on there, but I didn't want it hanging down that low. So you can pop it on there, but what I actually did was just snipped away where the knot is. I can hear one of my cats coming in the cat flap, so she's probably going to come in and want food. I'm going to slide that up a bit further again, and then I popped one end underneath the bow, a little bit fiddly again. So you've got these two now loose ends. This is always going to be more difficult to tie. See, I've got the two ends there. Always more difficult to tie when you're on film. And then pop the ends through. That's where I lose it a little bit. My cat's constantly hungry. I'm going to poke that one through. It's a little bit fiddly, but it will tie slightly further down, and then your star won't hang down so far. You can just trim these ends off. If you get into a bit of a pickle and, you know, just pop a bit of cotton through or something, if you end up cutting it and you can't tie it how you want it, and you're ending up with shorter and shorter string. But yeah, just have a little go, but it looks really pretty, I think, there. And then finally, just going to stamp our, especially for you, in balmy blue. It's quite a nice icy colour. Now when you're stamping this, if you've got this small sentiment, you can pop something behind there. I find it easier. But if you don't have this set, you can either buy it through me, or you can use whatever you have at home. You might have a For You or something like that. Marley, I'll feed you in a second. And then I've just got one of our sponges. I cut it up into 6 pieces and then just pop it in the ink, and then just sponge around the edges here, and it just gives a little bit. She's she's got her claws in my leg now. Oh, the joy of cats and filming. There we go. So you've just popped a little bit of, I don't know if that's picking up really, around the edge, a little bit of extra colour. Can you see that now? It just makes it stand out a bit more. Then I've lost my silver piece now. Where did that go? Do I have another one here on standby? There we go. This one's a bit battered, but I'll use that one because mine one just disappeared then. And then all you want to do is pop a dimension on the back of that one, and then offset it so that you can see some of the silver through. Flip that one over, and a dimensional again on the back of there, and then just pop that down the bottom, and there you have it. A little gift bag for you to pop some Christmas treats in. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.